culture. Yeah, what up, it's your boy Alley Cat.
And I'm Twin.
You are now watching the culture.
One and only.
Yeah, what up, it's your boy Alley Cat.
And I'm Twin.
And you are now watching the culture.
That's right, one and only.
I mean, today's episode and topic is Indigenous people. It's Indigenous People Day, not Christopher Columbus Day. Now,
Today's Indigenous Day.
We a little behind on it. We're going to drop this for you. We're going to give you a little bit of knowledge. You cannot discover something that is already found.
And look at this, Al. It's a traveling show. We at the Red Steps, traveling. I love it.
So now, the discoverer or discovery, I don't know how you did that, and why would you do that? I mean, you probably did it for Italy and, you know, showed them new land. But other than that, it was already found. You cannot find nothing that is already found with people already living there. So what are these people?
Oh, they discover America?
Or
what do you think?
I don't know. Because I'm still confused because the education that was given to me was sometimes lied about. So when you break it down, you know, we have to really get in deep with this.
Yes, because we know indigenous people was already here on this land before anybody so-called discovered it, whether you want to say Christopher Columbus or any other navigators of the seven seas at that time. You know what I'm saying? So it's important to know there was indigenous people here already, and we're in the middle of Times Square telling you that.
And we telling you that because this is the epicenter of the city.
Okay, we're stepping it up.
All travelers come here, and foreign, worldwide, they come to New York City, they come to Times Square. You know, they really don't leave these areas, touristy, even that they gentrified Brooklyn, Queens, and certain areas, the 5 boroughs. So now we here to just show you, and we happen to be here the second Monday of October, which is Christopher Columbus Day, that we was told as kids.
Here you go.
But it's really Indigenous People Day, and only certain states made it legal.
Right.
But they put it on the calendar, but they always say Christopher Columbus Day. I am not Italian. I'm a Black American.
And that Christopher Columbus Day we call Colonization Day. That's what I call it. But today's Indigenous Day. And you know, it's very important for people to know about the indigenous people, what color they are, or maybe what tribe or what family they belong to, whether you got Bigfoot, whether you got Cherokee Indian. A lot of people love to say that.
Well, you know, my family, we Navajo.
Navajo.
You know, my grandfather was Chief Slapperho. Now, I'm just joking. I want to keep it intellectual. You know, I like to have a little fun every now and then. I mean, no disrespect to no one, but let me let you know, once again, how can you discover something that was already people there? So,
and it's good that they have an Indigenous Day, but I hope that they just teaching, you know, the old history versus the new history of Indigenous people.
They don't really talk about it because it's not worldwide. It's not all over the United States.
It's not.
It's not even officially a holiday because they still could say Christopher Columbus Day. So that's the holiday that we celebrate, or they have us celebrate.
No doubt.
So within knowing that, I mean, just drop a little jewels on them.
It's beautiful that we on Indigenous Day talking about this when there's plenty of tourists in this area right now. So, you know, my question is I hope we are learning the original history of the indigenous people, not more of the modern day history of the indigenous people. A lot of people think the indigenous people is Father Duffy, you know what I'm saying, who's a Catholic priest, whose statue stand right here by the Red Steps, you know what I'm saying? These are not indigenous people. The original indigenous people are from tribes. So, you know, we went over the few tribes.
Indians.
Oh yes, that's even a modern day term. Indians actually didn't even call themselves Indians back then, you know, as far as when we talk about the original indigenous people. And, you know, we just not celebrating indigenous on 42nd Street. We celebrating indigenous people all over
the world.
That's very important to know.
They all over the world.
Definitely.
East Coast, West Coast, worldwide.
Yes, and yo, this is the culture, right? And we are traveling just to show you how the world works.
I just want to give you a little jewels, a little here and there.
Definitely.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. You know, this just gonna be a little bit. We're gonna elaborate on it much more later. But you know, I bet you after this show, people will not forget what the Indigenous Day is. I bet you we help promote
the
what
second
Indigenous
Monday
Day is.
Of October. The second Monday of October every year is Indigenous Day. It's not Christopher Columbus Day.
That's it. So, you know, I think that's very important to know. Now, when we talk about indigenous people, right? Let's talk about the culture of the indigenous people. What culture did they have back then that we definitely don't see around here today? That's why I'm glad we're making a statement by being out here today. You know what I'm saying?
Because everybody knows their culture. we need to know ours.
Yes, and it should be passed down. So indigenous people had a culture, and it should be passed down to today. A lot of the fashion, a lot of the way that people move, even the bright lights that's around us on these red steps, is not a representation of the indigenous people back then. You know what I'm saying?
Well, everything's been modernized.
It's been.
Because I mean, if they were still around and they wasn't massive destroyed or mass murdered.
Yeah. But they're still around. Their great grandkids is there.
And yes, and they have their own, and they gave them their own territory and their own lands and their own laws that they have to abide by. And you know, but they're not really part of this population, like as you would see vastly.
No, not at all.
You know what I mean? So
not at all, because they changed the fashion, as we was talking about. They changed how it looks in the modern time. You know, it should be a trickle down effect of the culture. So when Indigenous Day do come around, it should be a celebration. You know what I'm saying? It should be a celebration.
But it's not their parade.
They let the parade rain on us, right?
Yeah. So you know,
we're
gonna keep that short and brief, because you know, we'll let you know that we did not pass it. It just stumbled. How would you say? It slipped our minds because we talk about so many different topics. So we just wanted to give you a little bit of that.
Yes.
And that's food for thought.
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
And you know, it's important to know that the indigenous people, most of them on this land here, was people of color.
I think they say the new indigenous people, I think they call them Moors now.
You're shaking it up.
Yeah, I think they call them Moors. I might be wrong.
Because a lot of the pictures that you will see for today as the Indigenous Day, there's a lot of white people perpetrating the indigenous people from back then.
Blackface.
If you want to call it that, you want to call it blackface, but it's white people in indigenous attire claiming that they are part of the indigenous people when they're really not. So I think that's important to know. You know what I'm saying? Out here.
So you heard it here first.
That's right.
You know what I mean? And if you didn't hear it here first, you hearing some more of it. And you should pick up a book. Or listen, man, you know you in that internet savvy, pick up your phone, Google it. Google's your friend, bro. And sometimes they'll lie to you. You need to go to a library. Pick up a book, sit down, take 25 minutes out of the day.
Even the library separate the information. That's why it's a library. Yo, I am twin, man.
I'm Alley Cat.
That's the culture.
This is all hearts, my height, injection.